Youth unemployment in South Africa stood at 39.5% during the first quarter. It appears the government is struggling to bring this figure down. But there have been a number of private organizations looking for new and innovative ways to curb unemployment. Southern Africa Startup Awards is one of those. Officials are looking for ambassadors to help startups gain business ideas, skills and access to market. For more on this, I'm joined by McKevin Ayaba from the organization. Welcome, McKevin. Thanks for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you for having me here at eNCA, Andy. It's always a pleasure.
So this is not, these awards didn't start in Southern Africa. It's in fact an international awards organization, and Southern Africa, or the SADC region, has been represented since last year. Tell us about the importance of these awards for entrepreneurial, growing the entrepreneurial spirit.
First of all, entrepreneurs need exposure. We are trying for you to be able to do quite well in your business, you need to be competitive. You need to understand what your competitors are doing. So we look at it from an angle where we need to understand what other countries are doing within our region and see what is it that, how can we then meet up with them. But more importantly, these awards are just to connect startups with potential investors. That's one of the most difficult things as you talk about employment. Most startups have great products, but they don't have access to investment. And how do they even get access to investment? They need to get exposure. They need to have an opportunity to have a one-on-one conversation with investors. The investors don't just move around and look for startups, in as much as they do, but in a very limited space. So this award create that kind of an environment where we bring in investors as well. That's why one of our categories is Investor of the Year. Okay. So we make sure that people nominate award best investors that are investing in startups, so that we can all, at the day of the grand finale, which is always a 2-day or at the national level, we can bring in all these investors and create what we can call a workshop or a panel discussion, where these investors then engage with the startup on a one-on-one, which then give them an opportunity to know the kind of business that they do, and then create that kind of an interest, where they can then actually connect with them and then potentially see and how they can scale their businesses. So it's an exposure kind of.
Exposure, and so also connecting people to mentors. That's also vitally important in terms of finding ways to mentor people through the whole startup process.
Yes, you're right. I mean, having mentors is a thing. When you meet these investors and they get interested in they then become your mentor and they guide you. But what this award also does is that we do not only compete, like I mentioned, we are in 15 SADC countries. You look at what your competitors are doing, and then more importantly, we also compete at the global level. So the Global Startup Award is in 7 regions, and there's 64 countries.
So who are some of the SADC countries who are taking part in these awards?
All the 15 SADC countries. You have Zimbabwe, we have Namibia, you have Botswana, you have Mozambique, you have South Africa, you have Tanzania, you have Zambia, you have Madagascar.
And the awards are being held here?
Yes, each country, the award will happen in 3 stages. You have the national, the regional, and the global. The national, each country hosts their national award under category that we have chosen that solve the problem that based on our continent, and then they send the winners to the regional grand finale. So the regional grand finale took place here last year at 10 cities, but each of the other national awards take place in the various countries. So this year we are having the 2018 winners who will be going for the global Startup Award this particular year in December to compete with the remaining 64 countries in Southeast Asia, in South Europe, in Europe and Euro-Asia.
So in that sense, it's also not just a moment in time to be awarded. You're also taking people through a year's worth of guidance as part of the process as well, and not just giving them an award and then they walk off and have to fend for themselves again. No,
that's not the purpose of this award. This award is not only to. I mean, as the year goes by, we have conversation with them. We do follow up with them. We find out what they are doing, what problems are they facing, and how can we help. But more importantly, we are taking Africa back to the world and the world back to Africa, which is very important for initiatives like this. We can, Africa, I mean, just about a little bit over 20 years where we go connected to internet. Internet is key. Europe and the rest have been more exposed to that. So it's for
and of course,
us,
Africa has different kinds of challenges that business owners and entrepreneurs need to overcome, which creates a space where innovation is perhaps more challenging, but far more alive than in other spaces. How would you say South African or SADC region, Southern African entrepreneurs compare to their European and Asian counterparts?
We are ready. Africa is ready, and we are fortunate that this particular region, SADC, is topping when it comes to innovation and technology, and that's why our award focuses on people who are doing, who are solving our problem using technology and innovation based on the fourth industrial revolution. You hear the president talk about it each and every single day. It's here to stay. So we look at that situation where we need to make our entrepreneurs be investment, but be ready for the fourth industrial revolution. And trust me, they are. I mean, our first edition, having 3,200 nominees or participants in 15 SADC countries, shows that we, as Africans, we are ready. We understand. We're ready for this fourth industrial revolution. We just need to continue to support them and give them more opportunities.
Give us an idea of some of the categories here. I'm looking through a list here, and apparently this year there are some new categories that have been added. Tell us about those.
We had 15 categories last year, which include Investor of the Year, like I mentioned to you, female role model. You know, women nowadays are shaking up the world, and we want to put our women on top of the world. So we have female role model in tech. Here we have social impact. We are looking at, I just saw some young students now at the age of 17 doing some amazing work. We created a category called Best Student Tech because we believe entrepreneurship should start from school. It should start with students like this one that were just on your show earlier on. So we have a category called Best Student Tech. We have this year we've introduced health tech. We've introduced fashion.
So across the spectrum of industries, you're not just looking at or tech or one space, health, fashion, all across the spectrum.
Yes, all across the spectrum. But more importantly, if they are using innovation or technology to solve those problems across the whole spectrum.
And give us some ideas of when these awards take place. Have the national awards been held, and when will the regional awards be held?
We're fortunate to have partnered with some great organizations. We've partnered with SA Innovation Summit to host the national award in Cape Town on the 13th of September. So the award will be taking place in Cape Town for the national award. The regional award will be taking place in November in Johannesburg. So we've had some few organizations that have really been helping out with regards to partnership to make sure that these awards are happening from like Caban Investment and just and a few.
Well, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon in studio. That was very insightful, and we wish you all the best. And thank you for encouraging entrepreneurial spirit and supporting entrepreneurs to make their journey a lasting one.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, eNCA, and the viewers and the listeners. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.